Find the least common multiple of 3, 4, and 5. What this question is essentially asking us to do is to find the smallest number that has 3, 4, and 5 as factors. Now, in this case, the three numbers in question, 3, 4, and 5, do not share any common prime factors. So the answer is pretty straightforward. The LCM of 3, 4, and 5 is 3 into 4 into 5, which is 60. Find the least common multiple of 80, 85, and 90. So let's start with the prime factorization of these three numbers. In the case of 80, 80 is divisible by 2 since it's even. 2 times 40 gives us 80. 40 is also divisible by 2 since it's even. 2 times 20 gives us 40. 20 is also even, and so it's also divisible by 2. 2 times 10 gives us 20. 10 is also even. So 2 times 5 gives us 10. We can stop at this point since 5 is prime. Now in the case of 85, 85 is odd, so it cannot be divided by 2. 8 plus 5 gives us 13, which is not divisible by 3. 85 ends with 5, so it can be divided by 5. 5 times 17 gives us 85. At this point we can stop this process since 17 is prime. Now moving on to 90. 90 is even, so it can be divided by 2. 2 times 45 gives us 90. 45 is odd, so it cannot be divided by 2. 4 plus 5 gives us 9, which is divisible by 3. 3 times 15 gives us 45. 1 plus 5 is 6, which is divisible by 3. So 3 times 5 gives us 15. At this point we can stop this process since 5 is a prime number. Now let's represent these three numbers as the product of their prime factors. 80 is 2 power 4 into 5. 85 is 17 into 5, while 90 is 2 into 3 square into 5. Now, the LCM of these three numbers is the product of their factors with the highest power. So in the case of 2, that's 2 power 4. In the case of 3, that's 3 square. In the case of 5, it's just 5. And in the case of 17, it's also just 17. Now, this intuitively makes sense since any number, for example, that can be divided by 4 can also be divided by 2. So any number that can be divided by 2 power 4, which is 16, can also be divided by 2. And the same for each of the other factors. So the LCM is equal to 12,240.